It is a sigh of relief for thousands of students who were at risk of losing the opportunity to obtain loans and scholarships after the government extended the deadline for applying for higher education loans and scholarships by a month. The Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu, in a statement on Tuesday, said the extension will allow more than 100,000 eligible students who are yet to apply for the loans to do so. Now, the application period was initially scheduled to lapse on September 7th, which is tomorrow. Ben Kirui reports.
18-year-old Sheila Motanda's dream of pursuing higher education was hanging by a fragile thread as the deadline for applying for higher education loans and scholarships approached. Her attempts to secure the much-needed funding yet to be successful. She can breathe a sigh of relief after the government extended the deadline for applying for higher education loans and scholarships by a month.
Nikaweza kupata alama ya B+ of 69 points. Nikaweza kuita Chuka University niende kusomea nursing. But for now sijapata kujoin juu sina pesa za kunipeleka huko.
Just like Sheila, Silvana Sebwire, a student from Busia County, the loans are his gateway to higher education, a chance to break free from the confines of financial constraints.
Nilijua venye nakuja shuleni, nitajua walikuwa wataniweka kwa kiwango fulani cha extremely needy, lakini sasa nilipofika shuleni ikabidi sasa hawaja categorize watu, sasa ikabidi tena mzazi alipe pesa fulani na nyumbani pia hakujiwezi vizuri.
According to the Higher Education Loans Board, the categorization process in the new funding model unveiled by the government in May this year will kick off tomorrow for those who have successfully applied for the loans.
We have made arrangement with Treasury, funding for the ones who have successfully been categorized, and there is no appeal process. I mean, they are not appealing for their categorization. Funding was then flowing out. I see around 15-16, we should now start having the funding flowing out.
In the new model, students have been categorized into 4 groups based on their level of financial need. These are vulnerable, very needy, and less needy students. Students from the vulnerable and extremely needy households will receive 100% funding, while the needy and less needy will get 93% government funding and 7% contribution from their households to cover for the tuition fee. For those who will fall in a category they don't belong due to misinterpretation, will have an opportunity to appeal.
It could be misinterpreted. For example, we are using KNBS to know the poverty probability index, PPI, of the person. We might say that this person comes from an area that is very poor, is not very poor, but yet he comes from an area that is actually very poor. We might see that he was in a private school, but kumbe, this private school was actually sponsored by somebody and he did not attach the sponsorship letter. So there's an appeal process for that.
As of September 5th, 156,532 students had applied for both university fund scholarships and Higher Education Loans Board loans, accounting for only 60% of students placed by Kenya University and Colleges Central Placement Services based on KCSE 2022 performance. The extension will give the remaining 112,468 students a chance to apply for the loans. According to the Higher Education Loans Board, the verification of ID numbers is among the challenges that prompted the extension. The news of the extension came as a lifeline to many students who have been grappling with the prospect of missing out on higher education due to financial constraints. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.